The Sega Genesis has blast processing. Super Nintendo doesn't. So what's blast processing do? And what if you don't have blast processing?
Turn on your light, and they'll see you. You make a sound, and they'll hear you. If you think it's scary being lost, just wait till you're found.
You are stupid!
Silent Hill 3, rated M for mature, from Konami.
The Secret of Monkey Island, a game so big only the Sega's CD could hold it. You are Guybrush Threepwood, would-be pirate. Something's afoot on these islands, and it's up to you to find out what's what. A graphic adventure game has never been so easy. Using the award-winning SCUM system, walking, talking, taking is as simple as pointing the cursor and pressing a button. The Secret of Monkey Island offers adventure gamers a new kind of storytelling experience that includes logic puzzles, complex conversations, and side-splitting humor. Available now from LucasArts Games and JVC, The Secret of Monkey Island sets new standards for Sega Genesis CD games.
PC エンジン版グラディウス発売中。Konami.
Well, are we ready to take a look?
What did that even remotely have to do with Gradius? What did any of that have to do with Gradius? Whoa. My volume's broken.
Isn't that supposed to be a chainsaw?
70 bits.
Okay,
oh boy.
Base_hole has dropped 70 bits. Oh boy, Genesis.
70s, yeah, Gen Musical Notices. Thank you for the 70 bits. Base hole. Right before my birthday. My birthday is coming up on Tuesday. I'm celebrating it all this coming week. Shy Alright with the 201 bits. Let's go Claybones. Oh no, the bear.
Shalrai donated 201 bits. Oh no, the bear.
Thank you, Shalrai, for the 201 bits. As you can see, the word count for my first book has gone down by almost 1,000 words. That's because I have been revising and editing.
Citizens of Europe,
A spokesperson for
and actually have somebody who's helping me out with it, just being objective. So far, apparently my dialogue and my fight scenes are unchangeable. They're already done. First draft dialogue and fight scenes are like 99% already good. It's just little bits of redundancy when I get into description shit that I'm taking out. I have removed 0 fucks because there have been very few fucks that I gave in the first place. She still says, like, Hilderica still says, fuck off, Jim.
And here we have a fellow who's been experimenting with.
But the word fuck, how many times does the word fuck appear in Hilderica? That's the question. That's the question.
Remember, do not underestimate.
Book 1 is already published ready. Book 2 and 3, which are just the acts in the book. They're just 3 chunks of book. The word fuck shows up. Okay, fucker. Fucker counts as fuck once. Fucking, that also counts. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, this was dumb. I should have done this from the start. Actually, there's a lot of... You know what? There's a lot of the word fuck in this. Let's see here. Okay, now I can actually look. 1, 2, 3.
Silent Hill 2. Rated M for
30.
For PlayStation 2 from Konami.
41. 45 times. 45 even times. 45 times. 45 is pretty good. That's pretty decent size number of fucks for an action fantasy sword and sorcery book. No, Phantasy Star 2's dungeons are as bad as people say. Phantasy Star 3's dungeons are much, much better. They have the same general look as Phantasy Star 2 dungeons, but they aren't nearly as painful to navigate. And they're pretty easy to remember. I could definitely tell that a real designer with a real goal actually got involved with them. That people say Phantasy Star 3 is bad for 2 reasons. 1, it did not answer a cliffhanger that was introduced at the end of Phantasy Star 2. The second reason is that it has a lower budget than Phantasy Stars 1 and 2, even though so it didn't really feel like a big step up, it felt like a step sideways instead. It didn't really have a big leap the way Phantasy Star 1 to 2 did, because that was a generational jump. Phantasy Star 3 looked a lot like Phantasy Star 2, except it leaned more onto the fantasy look. But it ultimately still felt like the same kind of game. You missed the boomerang controller? So that's why people say Phantasy Star 3 is bad, because it wasn't Phantasy Star 2 again. And it focused on unique characters. It just focused on individual characters, like different characters. And it didn't really have the huge, big, like, technological leap that we got between Phantasy Stars 1 and 2. When you don't give a shit about either of those things like I do, it's really, really good, and probably my favorite Phantasy Star so far. It's really good. There is better than cat girls. There is an android girl who will serve you for all eternity. She is loyal. She is dedicated to you and your progeny for all time. Frankly, she is better than Nay. Nay wasn't... I like 1,000-year-old robot chick way better than Nay. She stares at me in my sleep, and that is a very potent fetish. She doesn't blink. For some reason, she doesn't blink. Like, that's just a weird quirk of androids, as they don't blink. She's also over 1,000 years old. It's not a fetish, I promise. But yeah, evidently, she'll just stare. She just stares. Where were we last? We were somewhere. Where were we? I'll start at about 7:45. I need a few more minutes. If I remember right, we were sleeping on Twitch. There was literally an entire category called I'm Only Sleeping, where people sleep on Twitch. I think it used to be bannable, but then Twitch didn't give a shit when people were sending money to the people who were sleeping on Twitch, which meant Twitch was getting money. Twitch only bans things that lose the money. So, yeah. So, yes, sleeping on Twitch is apparently just fine. Especially if you're doing subathons, like Mr. Suffer's got like a huge 60... It has like a huge 60-plus day subathon going on. I think it's still going. And he'll sleep during it. That's why Basehole's username is cool. Guess so. So nah, sleep is fine. Sleeping is apparently okay. From what I know, it may still be in the rules, but it just never seems to get enforced ever. I guarantee you the only reason why... Remember that 24 hours when nudity was allowed? Like drawn nudity was allowed on Twitch? Like just full permission was granted for like 24 hours? And it turned the art category into absolute chaos. It happened about 2 or 3 years ago. And it turned the art category into absolute chaos because all the furries came in and just started drawing dicks. And... Which, of course that was gonna happen. They're compulsive. I know. It could have been tasteful anime titties, but no, it was just furry VTubers drawing dicks. And maybe some anime titties. But 24 hours later, Dan Clancy shut it down. Yeah, I was on Twitch that day. I was like, what in the fuck? Because I was thinking, oh shit, fuck yeah, now I can play more PC 98 games without being nervous. That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, thank goodness. And, a day later, Dan Clancy shuts it down, and I guarantee you it wasn't because of the furry dicks. I guarantee you it was entirely because he got a lot of phone calls from a lot of sponsors who decided they didn't want to get involved anymore, right? They were threatening to if you don't shut this down, we're pulling out. And he probably got a lot of calls like that. Yeah. I don't want to look at furry dicks, Basehole. That's not my point. I wanted to play more PC 98 games. PC 98 is a pure system.
I cannot live another day without air conditioning.
Oh, you were saying that to Couch? I don't think Couch wanted to look at furry dicks.
You said you'd call Sears. I'll call today.
Or maybe Couch did.
Now's the time to save on Sears and
Couch did want to be on Twitch. It was a clusterfuck. I mean, I was like, of course I went straight to the art category because I want to know what was going on. And yeah, it was just all that. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. But no, guaranteed Dan Clancy did not care about what was being drawn on Twitch. If he could allow full porn without losing sponsors, he 100% would, especially Dan Clancy. Especially Dan Clancy. I'm surprised he hasn't just because... I'm surprised he wasn't like the CEO of like, I don't know, whatever fucking live streaming porn services there are. Like, I'm surprised he didn't like gun for one of those.
and save with Sears.
So what's the paper say about tomorrow?
Tried to buy knockoff Transformers on AliExpress, and it suggested $2,000 blow-up dragons. Ah, shit. Speaking of blowing up dragons, which may happen, we're going in.
Savage.
Somebody knows something about Couch. The Couch don't know. Oh, no. Good evening, ladies. Did you hear iDubbbz is a Dragon VTuber now? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Cybertrucker Alpha. My birthday's coming up on Tuesday. Birthday week starts this Tuesday, ends on Saturday. I'm just gonna say it's my birthday on all 3 days. That'll get me up to 40 instantly. I'm turning 37. We're playing Phantasy Star 3, which is a game that's 2 years younger than I am. We're playing a 35-year-old game tonight. Game is good. It's very good. Phantasy Star 3 is shockingly good. Only a year? Everybody on Retro is the same age. According to Final Fantasy VII's manual, I was old at 32 because Sid Highwood was called an old pilot. We're like 2 weeks apart. Wow, Claybones. Yeah, my birthday's February 24th. It's already the 21st. I think we're just gonna keep playing. We're gonna play Nirvana. We're just gonna play Zeta 2 because I just want to. Usually on my birthday I play whatever I want, and I happen to want to play Nirvana Zeta 2. Anime ages. Give me a midlife crisis. I mean, it could get you. It could get you places. It could definitely get you places. A midlife crisis could do a lot. Speaking of midlife crisis, Phantasy Star 3 is a game. Do I have any new votes up? Did I completely fucking forget? I did. No votes today. No votes. No votes. Let me no votes. It went completely black for a second because I switched to visual stuff. That wasn't your that wasn't your computers, guys. That wasn't your TVs or your phones. That was me switching to visual stuff so I could change the votes to no votes because I forgot to add a vote game. It doesn't matter. I feel like I have plenty of time. Everybody who designed the characters are now in their, like, older 50s. And if you notice, Japanese game devs are a lot more open to the idea of older characters when they themselves are getting old. Did you notice that? We're playing Phantasy Star. We're playing Phantasy Star. I don't even know where I left off. I think we were in the desert planet. And we are looking for... Oh yeah, we got these weird seals and we have to figure out how to use them. We're gonna see a Phantasy Star the likes of which even God has never seen. Can you imagine Stilgar and Phantasy Star? Phantasy Stilgar. I'd play Phantasy Stilgar. Water animals and sand equals sand animals. Yeah, that's a good one. This has like the best opening of any Phantasy Star game. I don't give a fuck who says what. Yeah, we're not voting. There's no vote today because I forgot. I went to the dentist. I have one cavity left and he said he could save it. He said he's just gotta fill it. That'll be sometime in early March. I'll let you guys know if I gotta take the day off. Like maybe I haven't gotten like a proper filling in years, so I don't even know what it's like. Yeah, we're in the desert right now. It looks like the desert. Definitely looks like the desert. Why does my that's good. My hotkeys for my fucking volume just decided not to work today. Long ago, 2 moons orbited our world. So where are we so far? What are we doing so far? We have our characters. We have Lena. Lena's the new girl in our team. She helped me escape from jail. I am Reese, the guy with the pissed off looking dude with the blue hair. To my right is Mew, who is apparently not my love interest. Then there's Ren next to Mew, who's basically just another older android who's been living in the desert. Mew we just kind of found wandering around. She was waiting for my ancestor about 1,000 years ago. She has now just joined the team, just like Dragon's Heaven. There's Lyle up there. Lyle is kind of an asshole. He's like our mage. And he helped us get to the girl here, to Lita. And now we have to do some kind of shit in this desert somewhere. We're not really sure. Return the stones to the satellite system, and the wandering moon will grace our skies. Okay, that's what we have to do. We just have to figure out how to do that. So we're wandering around. I don't even know how long this girl's gonna be in the party. And then there's this girl. This is Mune. This is not Mew. This is Mune, who is another robot just like Mew. She's the same model. She's got the same leotard. Where's Arachio? It's been 1,000 years, but I know his black sword anywhere. Apparently I need a black sword? Do I even have one? Definitely doesn't look like... I got a lot of trimates, though. A lot of healing items. He's got an escape pipe. Good. We need one escape pipe at all times. Are they all leotarded? No, they're not all leotarded. Here's what they look like. Japanese manual. Fantasy Star 3. Let me see if I can find... Not the guidebook, I want the manual. The Sega Retro will have it. Here's what the main characters look like. Here's what all the characters look like. We may as well take a look at them again. Yeah, Sega Retro is such a good resource for manuals. Like, if you ever need, like, a Genesis manual, Sega Retro has you covered. They have them all scanned. It's so good. Here's the main character. Here's Reese. He's got a cod piece. He's got a huge metal, like hair metal cod piece. But otherwise, no. Not a leotard. There he is. He's got like a Ghostbusters jumpsuit. Here's Meow or Mew. Here's Mew, guys. Best girl. Way better than Nay, in my opinion. We have oh shit, Shun? I don't know. Is that Shiren? Give me a second. That is Shiren. His name is Shiren in the Japanese version. Then that is not Wiru Mita? That's definitely not Lyle. His name is Lyle in the game, in the American version. There's Rena, who I think has a different name. And then there's Love Interest. Fantasy, oh god. You know what? I would like to see a waifu war between fucking Nay and Mew, because fucking Mew would win. Easily. She doesn't blink, guys. She doesn't blink. Do you know how intense the eye contact would be? Can you imagine the intensity of unblinking eye contact? Oh, good. I forgot about poisoned. Well, Reese is poisoned.
Adventure!
Oh, okay. That's what it is. Oh, Ren has different has models. He's currently a siren model. I get you. So what are we doing? Now, you would think that's something. That is not anything. Oh, we got an Eindon and a couple of chirpers. So the music in this game is insanely dynamic. Yeah, Ren. Oh, Ren comes back in Phantasy Star Online. I hear it's a game you can play single player very easily, but I'm not really sure how that works. Okay, so tap and seal actually will make it faster. How's it going, Crudus? Welcome on in. It has been so nice since getting rid of that hard drive, migrating all my shit over to the SSD, which I found is like $400 now. I thought the price hikes were just for RAM, but apparently SSDs are also affected. I paid $80 for my Western Digital Black. It is $400 now at Best Buy. I was shocked. We shouldn't be going here because that's where we picked up Ren. The cave is blocked, you can't get in. We're trying to find out where to go. There are these weird places, we can't really go anything. Yeah, anything that would use a chip, I guess. We ended up unlocking the ability to... We ended up fighting Lyle. And Lyle and the girl that was with Lyle is on our party now. Now we have to go here, apparently, to this desert planet. And figure out how to activate these two seals in order to get the... moon working again. That's what we're doing. We're trying to repair the moon. Oh, there are private servers? Oh, I mean, that makes sense. PSO was pretty huge. PSO was really huge. When will I add Seal Magic Guide to the votes? Wait a minute! I forgot! Votes are back on. Votes are back on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'll be right. In truth, we actually do have another game. I did not forget. I forgot that I did it. Dreamweb is vote 2. Wait, let me clear votes. Let me clear votes. Okay, there you go. Yeah, just vote. Just vote. If you already voted 1 or 2 or whatever, it counts. But yeah, vote 2 is Dreamweb. I completely forgot. Dreamweb is an insane Amiga game where you are an unreliable narrator. It has a huge book that you read before you play the game. It's like a 40-page journal by the main character where he's losing his mind. We have to read it. We have to read it. It is a grim cyberpunk dystopian adventure game with a unique top-down, like a very weird top-down perspective. Kind of reminds me of Hotline Miami a little bit. Only came out in Europe on the Amiga, but I think it also had a US release on DOS. We're playing the Amiga version. What else? That's it. Tomb Raider 3. Or Tomb Raider 4 I want to play. It's got to be better than 3. Phantasy Star 3 we're playing right now. And of course, Ultimate 2. How's it going, Flutter? Wait, did I ever clear the votes? Tell me I cleared the votes. Okay, if it's huge, then I didn't clear the votes. I didn't clear the votes. Hold up. Let me see if I can reset the votes. Oh god, what a disaster. Give me a second. Let me deactivate. What if I do this? Can I deactivate it? Okay, I could do that. No. I need the commands. I fucked this up. I fucked it up. We can unfuck it. Probably. All right, I found the votes. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can. Oh, I can clear cooldowns. Okay, I could do this. Okay, clear vote. I'm gonna clear the cooldowns on vote 1, vote 2, and vote 3. Okay, the cooldown should be cleared. So none of your votes mattered right now, but now they will work. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all your cooldowns should be okay. Oh, I love Firebots so much. Yeah, definitely throw those votes out now. You can definitely... Oh, make sure to hit exclamation point, too. Otherwise, it won't count. No spaces, and it needs an exclamation point. There you go. You did it. Yeah, you can capitalize. It just needs that. It's just how the bot works. Whoops. All right, cool. Cool. We are now up to speed. You know where to go next? Just let me know. Is it somewhere in this desert? Is it somewhere in the desert map? Here's our desert map. The maps are very weird because it's supposed to cover 3 planets, even though that doesn't make much sense. We're on the desert planet right now. The planet on the upper right is the snow planet. We melted it. Okay, it is on the desert planet. All right, we'll just look around then. Looking around and wandering aimlessly and having no idea what to do is a staple of Phantasy Star. It was exactly how it worked in Phantasy Star 1 and 2. Especially 2. Well, this planet was always just a planet. Yeah, we melted all of the ice in the ice planet, so now it's terraformed properly. Cave is blocked. We can't get in. Yeah, we just went around this then. It needed a, the world needed a little bit of global warming. I should probably add that one guy. If anybody's ever seen The Happening, I probably need to add in that one guy in the classroom who just said global warming. It was like, God, why is that stupid ass movie so memorable? Chirper. We got him. Oh, there's no vote list command. You hit votes. Type in exclamation point votes and it should show the vote list. Or maybe it did work. Maybe I did make that an alias. Nah, there it goes. I probably could. I mean, there's nothing stopping me. Lord of the Flies. You know, I never actually watched Lord of the Flies or read it. Closest thing I got to that was playing Rule of Rose, which is effectively the same damn thing. Only girls! And it's fucking horrifying. Oh, that's right. These guys don't have a nurse. They don't have a hospital. That means I have to use techniques. Techniques are very interesting in this game. Mew here is our mage. And what we do, anybody with a P in their name, she casts anti on them. But it doesn't always work. It worked perfectly then, but it doesn't always work. There is a failure chance and you just lose the MP. But it will save you some nurse money. Now, poison is very unique in that it's very annoying in a very specific way that is very different from other games. And, okay. And that is, it doesn't lower your health, it doesn't drain your health like, you know, poison typically does. Instead, it prevents you from being able to heal in any way, including in inns. So you have to go to a nurse who will cure your poison for you for like 10 meseta. What? Oh, I don't have Macaw 5. I don't have Macaw. I don't have Macaw 5. I've never had Macaw 5. We've been ambushed by the giant. That's not good. Oh, and of course these little assholes do like party shit. 7 damage. Maybe you should use more than a finger. Kill that.
That's a penis.
PS3, I don't know why people hate it, other than maybe they just wanted Phantasy Star 2 instead of Phantasy Star 3. I'm guessing that's the only thing. It feels like the Chrono Cross situation where people were pissed that Chrono Cross wasn't just Chrono Trigger 2 and instead was something completely different. And what it was fucking awesome. And this is feeling like the same thing. I feel like fewer people give it shit now than they used to, because when you play it, the game is objectively just good. It's just a good game. So I feel like people are way warmer to it, unless they're just YouTube essayists reading old forum comments saying it sucked and then parroting that, and then their fans parrot them. I feel like that's where a lot of the opinion comes from. This cave is also blocked. All these caves are blocked. Oh, fuck yeah, Chrono Cross is good. It is such a fucking dumbass take to think that it's not at least objectively an awesome game. Like, you don't have to like it, but yes, it is absolutely a good game. Yeah, Chrono Cross is fucking awesome. Yeah, we went here. Oh, do we have to go back here? Maybe we have to go back here now. Yeah, we have to go back here and further in, don't we? I think that's what we have to do. I mean, we may as well, Lena, just... You know what? I think this is what we have to do. Tell me if I'm wrong! I've completely forgot about this place. Yeah, because he kind of stopped us halfway in. Thank you, Kratos. Oh, these little ninjas suck. Ren went first, which is awesome. We gonna sweep this? No, he got us. Yeah. Exactly, and that's what I want to see in games, is, you know, doing interesting shit. This game is very interesting to me. Trimate? We could start using these, but I don't want to use it on a poisoned character, which is very easy to do. Oh, you're talking about Chrono Cross? Oh, I didn't care about it having no connection. I was so excited that it was the same team that it having no connection just made it even better to me. I just thought that was an even better thing. Because there was nothing really told in the first Chrono Trigger that, you know, there wasn't really a lot of room for expansion. The story was done. So I didn't care about revisiting the same characters at all. Like, what else did they have to say? Uh-oh. Why are they all going first? Kill them. Oh, Ren with his like fucking gun. Ren hits entire rows whenever he shoots, which is really nice. Yeah, exactly. Like, there was, like, if they decided to do an FFX2 thing instead of make entirely new characters with an entirely new story with a very small connection, a small but important connection to Chrono Trigger, I feel like it would have been like an... Oh god, Mew's dying. I feel like it would have been a, I feel like it would have been a situation similar to how Final Fantasy X-2 did. Final Fantasy X-2 was shit. It was a shit game. And it was a shit game that kind of shit all over the first game. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of FFX2. Its combat system's really cool, its job switching system's really cool, but the story and plot and atmosphere and just rehashing and, you know, insulting the old game and all that shit, it was just shit. It's just such a shit game compared to FF10. And if they made Chrono Trigger 2 instead of Chrono Cross, it would have risked doing that again. Only to a much more beloved game. So I'm glad they didn't do that and decided to just be completely creative and not give a fuck. I thought that was a much better idea. Yeah, I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they're fine now. I'm sure they're okay. But then again, I'm not a big fan of rehashes either. I don't really like rehashing. Sequels are fine, but not a big fan of rehashing if you don't have to. Oh god, it gets worse. It gets so much worse, Retro. Because I stuck it out, I was like, maybe it'll get better. It didn't get better. It didn't get better, Retro Leover. It was bad. It was bad and it got worse. I'm just assuming I have to be here. I'm just assuming that there's something here that I need to do. Oh! Lyle with the good shit. We still gotta kill these guys. Or not Lyle, but Ren with the good shit. I don't know. I wouldn't call that like a... You were just a stubborn masochist. And it's a game that I think, like, really hinted that you should 100% the game. Like, I think it was one of those games where it was like, it would, like, do extra shit if you 100%ed it. 100%ing FFX2 requires playing it twice, by the way. It is like one of those real shit Drakengard 2 situations. And it wasn't even worth it. See, I played Drakengard 2 for 2 hours and dropped it. I dropped it. I did not regret dropping it. Because not only did I know it was a longer game than Drakengard 1, which is one of my absolute favorite PS2 games, but it was going to be a lot more bland, story-wise. It was going to be a lot more tedious combat-wise, because they, like, did this dumb color-coded enemy thing, like fucking, Devil May Cry, like, the reboot. It was so shit. And apparently, in order to get all the endings, you had to play the game, like, 3 times. You had to play through the whole game, like, 3 times to get the endings. Okay, so, I'm going to just examine this. This is the weather control system. I don't think we're supposed to... No, there's, like, more shit here. I think we are supposed to go down this way. Because there's more shit here. Yeah, Drakengard 2 is bad. It's real bad. Drakengard 3 is also shit, by the way. Drakengard 3, everybody loves saying it's the best Drakengard. It is an absolute shit pile. It was so bad. And I'm not just saying that because of the terrible 12 FPS rhythm game final boss that was just a rehash of the first game's awesome rhythm game final boss, which was a stable frame rate. It's entirely because it was a game that, like, rejected the entire idea of having a plot. It had no story, and it made fun of you for wanting one. It just mocked you for wanting one. The dialogue was all porn dialogue, except you got no porn. The characters were nothing, literally nothing, and it gets rubbed in your face late game. The characters just, they may as well not have existed at all. They were fucking pigeons the whole time. Yeah, it's called Chrono Cross, exactly, Retro. Drakengard 3. The only characters with any characterization, all the characterization was in DLC, which means you had to pay for the plot. As the Moonstone and the Moon Tear are placed in the panel, Dahlia, the purple moon, moves. Pretty soon we'll be able to cross the sea north of Shusoran to reach Seal's Island. Yeah, they turned into pigeons because Yoko Taro was basically saying they didn't matter at all. And sure enough, all of their dialogue was just... There was the old guy with huge dick. That was his character. His character was that he had a big dick. He was an old man. He was the old wizard man. It was heavily implied that he and the main character had sex because I think she had sex with everybody in the party. And this was all, like, pretty much alluded to. This is the satellite control system. The balls are about to touch. Do we have to touch any more? Do we have to do any more of that?
It's a lovely naked wizard. No.
Yeah. And it was just, and then the punchline is they were just birds the whole time that she summoned because she didn't want to be alone during the whole thing, and that just trivialized and discounted absolutely any. It was kind of like the whole Mary Laura Angela Crane thing. He pulled a Mary Laura Angela Crane thing, basically. It was so shit. Also, the combat was actually... Like, I didn't think the combat in Drakengard 1 was repetitive until I had to grind for weapons. Until I had to do a little weapon grinding, especially in the big field. Other than that, when I was playing it straight before the weapon grind, it did not strike me as a repetitive game at all. I had so much fun, and it was so satisfying. There was so much little bits of variety here and there with where you were and how enemies were positioned and shit like that, that it never felt like... I never got the tedium that everybody kept insisting Drakengard 1 had. It just never had that. Up until, like I said, I was hunting weapons. And then, of course, I'm like redoing missions. Of course, that's going to get repetitive. Thank you for the gift sub to Couch Potato.
Polyethylene conscripted Couch_Potato 553 to the convoy.
I have done that, Couch Potato. I did that. I figured out that I could pause scum. So I started pause scumming and I eventually got it. There is no actual plot. There is no actual plot in Drakengard 3 that is worth talking about. It is just... The fans liked Drakengard or hated Drakengard, either didn't get Drakengard 1 at all, or liked it for all the wrong reasons. So I'm gonna make a game that panders to their weeb sensibilities, and they're probably gonna call it the best game, even though it is actually shitting all over them in their opinions. That is basically the plot of Drakengard 3. That is basically the plot of Drakengard 3. I'm just gonna rehash the first game in a much more shitty linear way. I'm gonna make characters that weebs would like on a surface level that have absolutely no depth to them whatsoever in actual writing, you know, when it comes to actual writing, and they're probably just gonna eat that shit up anyway. And Yoko Taro was right, they did. Was that a tractor beam type device? Pretty strong to move those moons, or were the moons artificial? I think they were called like moon satellites. But moons are satellites. I'm not sure, Crutus. I'm not too sure how it works. I'm guessing it's just a very powerful gravity beam. It's just, you know, this is science, well, would you call science fantasy a subgenre of science fiction? Because people like saying that science fantasy isn't science fiction. And that's like saying that fantasy isn't fiction. Right? It just seems wrong to me to not call science fantasy a kind of science fiction. Oh yeah, polyethylene. This did a lot of things before Final Fantasy. Some people argue that this game did more things than Dragon Quest, but I'm not sure about that. Star Wars, yeah, but it's science fiction. It's not hard science fiction, but it is science fiction. Like, it doesn't have to, it can be fantastical science fiction, but it still acts like it's science-y, and it is still fictional. And that's all science fiction needs to be. Like, that's all science fiction. That's the only requirement science fiction has to be science fiction. It has to involve some kind of high-tech shit, fictional or otherwise, and it has to not be based on a true story, or at least, you know, or at least diverge from a true story route. So yeah, no, Star Wars is science fiction. It's also science fantasy. They're the same fucking, like, science, like I said, it's like saying that fantasy isn't fiction. Of course it's fiction. It's just a subgenre of fiction. The Genesis was a 1989 machine, yeah. It was a 1989 machine. Late 88 in Japan. Yeah, but I've seen space wizards and other science fiction stuff, and people were okay with calling them space wizards. Okay, wait. Okay, we gotta get home. We gotta get home. I don't know what we're supposed to do now. He said something. He said something that we were supposed to do. Oh, maybe talk to her. Yeah, engineers aren't really scientists because they aren't trying to prove things. Scientists are more like investigators. We don't talk about midichlorians here. We don't talk about anything. We don't talk about anything released after Return of the Jedi. Where is Arachio? It's been 1,000 years. I'd know his black sword anywhere. Fucking midichlorians. Fuck off, George. There was apparently a line in Star Wars that gave Mark Hamill nightmares, and he memorized it. He memorized the line, but it bothered him. If anybody could find that, bet I could find it. We never got the midichlorian Honey, I Shrunk the Kids trilogy. That almost happened, yeah. That would have been, you know, that would have been better than the sequels. That would have been better than the sequels. Where the midichlorians were actually living beings, basically. Let me see if I can find this. Oh, shit, I actually have it. I actually have it up. Hold up, let me see if I can...
Yeah, I thought I never really thought about it. I just thought, gee, this is great fun. I mean, they're giving us laser guns, and I get to rescue a princess, and, you know...
It looked like a campy thing to make.
Well, sure, and it was so hard. A lot of times, it's a true story. Harrison Ford, who plays the space pirate in the film, at one point threatened to tie George up and make him say his own lines at gunpoint. I mean, the dialogue was a little bit difficult. I remember there was one line that I just begged him to take out. of the screenplay, and he finally did. Boy, I'll never forget it as long as I live. I sometimes dream about this line. And Harrison says, look, kid, I've done my part of the bargain. When I get to an asteroid, you, the old man, and the droids get dropped off. And my line was, but we can't turn back. Fear is their greatest defense. I doubt if the actual security there is any greater than it was on Aquilai or Solus, and what there is most likely directed towards a large-scale assault. And I thought, who talks like this, George? I mean, this is really not fair because, you know, we're the ones that are going to get vegetables thrown at us.
I didn't get vegetables thrown at him. George got vegetables thrown at him. George ended up getting the vegetables thrown at him, and then he got his revenge. Revenge of the George was fucking selling it to Disney, which he knew exactly what was gonna happen. He knew exactly what was gonna happen. He did it anyway. Thank you guys for the hype train, by the way. No, his best move was just retiring on his billions and not selling it and just letting it, like putting it in his will that it would be illegal for anybody to do Star Wars stuff. Or putting it in his will that Star Wars is public domain now and anybody can make anything they want from it. That is what George should have done. That's what, if I were George, that's what I would have done. I would have written my will and made the entire world the beneficiary and rights holder of Star Wars. I would have made it public domain. Full on public domain. And then when I died, anybody could legally do whatever the fuck they wanted to it. He already had that money. He already had that money. He could have pulled a Todd Howard and released a new Star Wars once a year, every year. Or not a new Star Wars, but just a new Star Wars re-release once a year, every year, and make that money easy. No, what he did was petty revenge. Yeah, I'm saying he would have got that 10 more billions without a fucking issue in the world. Yeah, being paid. I guess so. I guess so. It was his final fuck you to the people who built him. I mean, it's, you know, it's his money. It's his property. He can do whatever he wants with it. Sadly, Disney's foolishness didn't kill Disney. It came close. Definitely killed Star Wars. Star Wars. That all depends on what you want, Zordon, when you think about it. What if you just really, really want to know what $10 billion in dollar bills looks like in real life? I should have got a... You know what? We're not going home. The hell is my exit? I thought it was down here. Disney had a Star Wars resort. Yeah, it was awful. It was so awful. You want to know what it looked like? Do you want to know what a Star Wars room in Disney World looked like? Was it Disneyland or was it Disney World? Yeah, here's what it looks like. This is literally what it looks like. This is what they advertised. No, I don't want to save it. Oh god. You guys ready for this? Costs as much as a cruise. Here's your cell. There's your cell, guys. What, you don't want your own personal Rebel Alliance cell?
No way!
What kind of Star Wars fans are you?
Hello.
Hello, El Niso Guy. Thank you for the 37 months. What kind of Star Wars fans wouldn't want their own padded room for $500 a night? 70 bits. Oh, boy.
Base_hole has dropped 70 bits. Oh boy, that is so shitty. It is so tiny and just looks like a reskin of cheap-ass hotel amenities.
That's all it is. That's all it is, base. Evidently, the rooms were like in these fucking... Like, you would go in a ship. You would go into a ship. Hold up. Star Wars, hotel exterior. And it would have no windows. And you would basically just be dropped off in this. You would be... It would have no windows. It would have, like, space video on the outside. And then you would just be dropped off in this.
70 bits. Oh, boy.
This is what you'd be this is your hotel
Base
experience,
dropped
guys.
70 bits. Oh boy, give me them fucking Star Wars The Next Generation mammoth rooms for a hotel.
Oh, the mammoth rooms. Star Trek Next... Yes, Star Trek... Justin got it wrong. Thank you for the 70 bits. Leave all the Funko Pops you could pay for with that. The Funko Pops! Yeah, maximum profit for the... Yeah, this is... It's shit like that. That's why Disney makes most of its money on its resorts. They spend the least amount of money on their biggest cash cow. And then blow like $400 million on... fucking cult leader... cult leader Morbius. Because he wants to make his own Tron movie where he plays Tron Jesus. I want to be Tron Jesus, Disney. Can you help me become Tron Jesus? That's how he talks. That's how he talks when he's not performing. Even as a prison, it's Jared Leto, yeah. He looks constantly sweaty. It's because he's made of wax. It looks like he was just born again as the Tron Messiah. No, it's just... Like, they'll blow $400 million on that. But God forbid they spend any money on their, like, actual money-making business. D23? Oh, I imagine Kami was sorta. You had over 300 to 400 of those things, got a shit ton of money back when you got rid of them. I imagine that would have been worth it. That would have been worth, like, just being flooded with the damn, like, having a store full of them, and then just selling them all and just making shitloads. I imagine that would feel pretty good. That would be satisfying. Oh, fuck. Gotta go this way. I think it was attached to Couch Potato. I think it took the place of his brain. We can officially see Jared Leto in fucking hell. Jared Leto would only be in Kingdom Hearts if he played the new main character of Kingdom Hearts. And frankly, he seems the type to want to be that guy. He seems like the type to want to be that character. Revolver Ocelot Dog Toy? I mean, you could. Fucking Jared Leto. No, it's the Morbius timeline. It's a timeline where we get to see Pyramid Head play bongo drums on a human ass in a $20 million movie. Oh yeah, he was never gonna compare to Tyrell. There was no way he was gonna compare to Tyrell in Blade Runner 2. I feel like they actually kind of alluded to that, like, because he was such a nothing character compared to Love. Like, I liked Blade Runner 2. I liked Blade Runner 2. I like that it did different things and explored different shit while still being a, you know, brooding cyberpunk neo-noir film. It did a very good job there. But yeah, fucking Jared Leto wasn't why I liked it at all. He was just there. He was just a nothing character. I feel like he was going to become more of a problem in the sequel. Because it definitely had kind of a sequel hook. Even its antagonist, Love, was a very first movie in a series kind of antagonist. Where she wasn't really that big a deal. But she was still like the climactic fight, right? Of course we didn't get that, we got the Shit Dune. We got Shit Dune instead. People went to see Shit Dune before they went to see Blade Runner 2. The damaged Joker trailers. The really sad thing is that his Joker fucking in fucking Snyder Cut was like 1,000,000 times better than his fucking Suicide Squad Joker because he didn't have the damage tattoo and he didn't act like an idiot and he didn't have that goofy fucking... How did he laugh? He laughed like George McFly in the beginning of Back to the Future. He kind of gave it a... It was so shit. It was like the worst Joker laugh. Polyester sheer. Oh, it was so... yeah. Star Wars is in Kingdom Hearts 4, but no one believes it. Oh, we see a quarter of an ATST foot. That's right, there's gonna be a 4th Kingdom Hearts. Is there any news on that since that first trailer where he was like running around? He was like running around in like Normal Town, doing Normal Town stuff. How do they call it? How do they say it? How do they say that, Basil? How do they say Harkonnen? Do they really say it differently? No, Square wouldn't. No, of course not. Square has so much on its plate at all times, and they do it to themselves. Come on. I know anti doesn't always work, but do me a solid, game. Oh. It's just anti, motherfucker. Let's go to the church. I didn't have to go to the church. I'm thinking we have to go here now, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure where we're going. I'm just rolling with it. Killing in. Yeah, they do so much. Like... Harkonnen? Harkonnen? I'm now I'm even more pissed. Oh, Harkonnen? Oh. Harkonnen. Is it Harkonnen? Okay, cool. She secured us. Harkonnen. I said Harkonnen. I said Harkonnen. Yeah, bring it up. Bring it up, Crutus. The exit. Oh. Harkonnen? Harkonnen? That shit. Harkonnen is even worse than... Harkonnen? Harkonnen. Wow. Harkonnen. Harkonnen. It's Harkonnen. Harkonnen sounds good. Harkonnen sounds good. Why change that? Oh, I cannot make like the Lynch Dune. No. The Redditors, they do not like the Lynch Dune. I have to make it different. Fuck you, Villeneuve. I'm French! Canadian!
Ah, the French.
That's how he usually just exclaims this out of nowhere. Okay, should I reallocate my spells? Let's do a little spell allocation. This is one of the many cool things about Phantasy Star 3 is spell allocation. Okay, Mew is our big caster. We want heal tech. We could make anti even better. No, well, no, that would make anti worse. It's fine the way it is. Oh my god, let's hear this Joker then. Let's hear Lido Joker. I'm definitely not gonna regret this. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, this is the Joker lift. Let me see if I can't make that louder. Give me a second. I think there's like a plugin I can use. Yeah. There's a Firefox add-on that I can put on. Oh yeah, that's way better. Okay. Pin to toolbar, yes. All right, let's hear that again. Let's hear that again. That's basically it. Let's listen to... It's basically that. It's basically that. Oh no, it's worse. It's worse than the George McFly laugh. Never mind. It's actually even shittier. Yeah, no, yeah, it really would have. Starts like a Tidus. A Tidus? Boomer age of 35. Yeah, but you weren't born a boomer. You weren't boomer, but is it your birthday, Freedom? Is your birthday only 3 days away from mine? Happy birthday. I'm turning 37 in a couple of days. Oh, shit! Happy birthday. Yeah, my birthday's on the 24th on Tuesday.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. So what am I supposed to do now? Yeah, this was the Two Kingdoms. Do we have to go back here? I think we have to go back here. I think he mentioned going back here. Prince Lyle, welcome to the home of Shushoran. Yeah, Shusoran. Did he tell me to go back to Shusoran? Crispin Glover is insane. Crispin Glover is so fucking out of control. Like, have you seen him direct? Have you seen what Crispin Hellion Glover has been doing lately? That's his real middle name, is Hellion Glover. There's never a guard when you need one. We could go to his cursed as fuck website.
Time, stop!
No, people often use his full name to talk. Yeah, Crispin Hellion Glover. That's because that's how he lists his directorial works, which are Lynch on crack. They're like... Imagine if Lynch only went with first drafts. First nightmarish drafts. And didn't give a single fuck about if his audience even slightly understood it. And you've got your basic, yeah, that's your basic Crispin Glover movie. Yeah, he doesn't run an island cult like Jared Leto. Yeah, Crispin Glover is cooler than that. He's a very interesting guy. Absolutely, Freedom. Happy birthday. Oh, wait. I gotta give you a Metal Gear birthday. From shortly before it was legal to sing Happy Birthday, everybody had covers, including Kojima. You need an esque vibe. Oh, I can't go anymore. Give it to... Probably shouldn't be giving this to Lyle. Probably should give this to Mew. Mew should be the escape pipe person. Happy birthday. Yeah, or you could just do that. Yeah, a lot of movies would play for He's a Good, Jolly Good Fellow instead. And to prevent that. For a while there, WB, Warner Brothers had a fucking hard copyright. They had a hard copyright, like, fucking line in the sand. If you played unlicensed Happy Birthday song, then fuck you. And it was like that for years. And then finally a judge took a look at it and ruled it public domain and said that Warner Brothers was full of shit and that anybody can sing Happy Birthday for any reason, filmed or otherwise, for profit or non-profit. And it ended that curse. So now you'll hear people singing Happy Birthday. Like, you won't hear weird covers anymore and, like, more modern shit. Oh yeah, public domain superheroes are absolutely insane. Like Starman. No, Stardust. Stardust is probably my favorite. Every time there's like a little long corridor, you think there may be a chest here and there isn't. I'm glad that ended too. I was so happy to hear that because it always felt like full-blown copyright trolling on Warner's part. Like it was just so, like, so intentionally shitty to do, right? No. I wonder if we could still get into fights down here. It sounds like dungeon. Maybe we still get in fights here. Or it's just completely peaceful now. This town used to be a dungeon. This part of the game used to be a dungeon. And we had to fight our way through it. Now I guess we could just walk around. Stardust, the super wizard. He is the best wizard. The story behind his character is extremely sad. Very sad story about a drunk asshole who realized he was being too much of a dick to his family. He was like he was not a fun drunk, and he ended up leaving and vanishing and riding Stardust alone, and just did that. It was like, it's such a sad story, but man, the comic itself is just completely insane because what Stardust was, for those who don't know what Stardust the Super Wizard is. Stardust the Super Wizard was basically a version of... Let me see if I can find like an actual original cover. Yeah, he had this weird art style. He had this very surreal art style. Jesus, Reddit is so shit. Reddit is so... You want to look at a picture and it's on Reddit. You don't get to see the picture. You get to go to the site. Fuck off. Here's a picture of Stardust that isn't corrupted by Reddit. Here he is chopping off the head of a gangster. Because Stardust is not a superhero. Stardust is judgment. If you ever run into Stardust, the Super Wizard, you are probably thoroughly fucked, and you have done something that requires an eternity of pain. That guy was still alive, by the way. You tried to destroy the heads of a great nation, so your own head shall be destroyed. Look, Destructo, you're nearing the space pocket of living death, where the headless hen hunter dwells. He is the hugest giant in the universe. Then Stardust seizes Destructo like a ball and hurls him into the space pocket. The head drifts toward the bottom. Have mercy! The giant headhunter waits eagerly. Every single Stardust comic is like this. Bad guy does bad shit.
Why don't you use a little bit of your brain, musclehead?
Bad guy does some bad shit. Stardust comes in, morphs his fucking hand in order to get a better grip on the bad guy's throat and crush his shoulders. Oh man, you can find a Stardust Omnibus pretty easily. There are all these like fan arts and stuff. I'm just looking for the real shit. Nothing can compare to the real shit. Here he is throwing a guy into space, never to return again, because his voice is the voice of God. He talks like Old Testament God. Only he's meaner. It's fucking amazing. It's so good. What is he doing here? What is he doing here? The people gaze in awe and fear. The authorities are powerless to understand or cope with this new phenomenon. The Martian insects pollute the water. Scientists of the Earth, you must combat this menace with new chemicals. Stardust deflects the sun's rays and turns them on the oncoming hordes of poison-laden meteorites. He's God. He's just God. He's just God. His power is basically just God. Oh, here's the rest of that story. The floating head guy. The floating head guy. There was more to that. When the giant headless headhunter waited eagerly, Destructo was terrified by the sight. Stardust, please have mercy on me! Stardust's distant answer reaches the killer's ears. You had no mercy on your victims, you fiend, so now you'll pay the penalty. Destructo's head comes within reach of the giant. The giant places the head on his own shoulders. They are immediately enveloped in a stardust flash, and Destructo's head begins disappearing into the giant's body. Help! Because the headless headhunter needs to stay useful. He can't just have somebody's head.
This stupid fucking thing right here. Look at this stupid.
It's so good.
Stupid fucking.
Return the Moonstone to us, Iraqian spies. No, we're Iraqian spies now. What about this, like, lump of... Nothing unusual here. There's like this lump of rock. I'd love to see a Stardust video game where you're just creatively... Like, it's a game that's not necessarily hard. It's a game where you have to creatively, like, murder the fuck out of gangsters. But you have to do it, like, the caveat is you have to do it in a way that is karmically fitting to the things that they have done. I would love to see a video game, like a puzzle game, that did that. Iraqians and Shusharan, guards, help! Well, it's such an out-of-place lump of rock. It's just there. I don't know why it's there. What guards? Okay. It doesn't seem like there's anything here. Where am I supposed to go? I thought it was Shusharan. Is it not Shusharan? This is just Phantasy Star. This is just Phantasy Star exploration.
What?
At the end of the day. At the end of the day, that's all this is. We're just exploring in Phantasy Star. I don't even know. I thought I could go... Oh, I guess I can go... No, I can't. The trees are in the way.
What?
Maybe going to the other side of this was bad. I think it was. I think I have to go this way. You know, we could just... No, this leads to a chest. Oh, no. I could just load. I could just load. You know what? There we go. We basically loaded. We just loaded. The music is so creepy when it's not playing. Oh, shit. The music will just stop? Where's the... I'll load it right. I'll load it right. I didn't know the music would just stop like that. The sound was just gone. Yeah, the sound just vanished. That was weird. Alright, we'll just continue like normal. That's what I get for trying to load a save. There we go. Yeah, there was no sound at all. Some people across the sea worship Laya. This is Rizel, stranger, a small fishing village. You saved us. Feel free to use the ship, my heroes. Oh, that's right, we saved here. We saved here, and I wanted to... Yeah, that's right. We need an escape pipe. Almost like Wishmaster. Yeah, a Wishmaster game would be sick. I think that's what made, I think that's what I like so much about Stardust, is that it was basically if Wishmaster was a superhero instead of an antagonist. Like, there was one comic where Stardust stranded a guy. Yeah, this guy wanted to rob banks. He was robbing banks because he wanted lots of money. He just wanted to be rich. And Stardust flies his ass out into space and sticks him on a planet that was like made of gold. He put him on a planet where the main resource was gold, and he was just stranded on it for the rest of his life. And I think he even gave him immortality. He gave him immortality and then encased him in gold so he could just sit there as a gold statue for all eternity, looking at all the riches that he could no longer touch. Like, Stardust was fucking psychotic. He did not fuck around in the slightest. I'm pretty sure Araki, the JoJo creator, would come up with characters like this years later. Yeah, it was like an extreme, like, case of Midas. It was so good. It was so good. I'm amazed that never took off. Could you imagine modern Stardust? I think he did some other stuff too. I think that, like, Fletcher Hanks. His name was Fletcher Hanks who wrote him. And I think he also wrote this one thing about, like, this Paul Bunyan type guy. He was like this Paul Bunyan character who, like, he just wore flannel and he was like a logger and he would go and, like, fight criminals and shit. He would fight poachers and shit. He would just kick their asses. Disney would own it. You think it would be a Marvel property? Disney or Warner Brothers would own it, and I'm not sure which is worse. I'm legitimately not sure which one's worse. Maybe we have to go up here somewhere. There is this. But this isn't anything. Get out of here, bird. Get out of here, bird. I need to read that omnibus again. It was just so insane. People actually thought it was outsider art. They didn't think he was an industry insider because his art was so weird. But no, it turned out there's like old pictures. He knew how to draw. That was just his style. That was just his style. It's just what he liked drawing. Well, we got the moons closer together, but there doesn't seem to be any real bridging. Unless we gotta go somewhere else. I'm not sure. Not sure where else to go. I thought it was here. You have the opening part of the battle theme as a theme song. That's pretty awesome. Super Ninja. It's a good one. Really? I gotta... So it was out there on that part of the map. I was going the right way. This felt right. It felt right because we hadn't been out there, and it felt like we were doing backtracking, because she even said you're gonna go backtracking, right? Maya said that we were gonna go backtracking, and I guess she meant that as literally as possible. All right, here we go. Oh, it's probably right here. It is here. Oh, shit. Okay, wow. You know what they should have done? Fucking dinosaur! You know what they should have done? It's a big fucking dinosaur! They should have had the bridge go up as soon as you walked up there. As soon as you crossed that threshold, it should have showed the bridge go up. Instead of you getting on the pixel and it showing. Please die. Please die. Grah! Yeah, the dinosaur was kind of hot, right? The dinosaur had big T-Rex titties. Alright, cool. Pixel thing was kind of devious. That's just Phantasy Star for you, though. I mean, that's just Phantasy Star. I can't even judge it. Why? Because I can navigate dungeons in this game and I don't have to think about it. I just do it. You saw titties and you were gonna say something. Broke Bacula said something. Broke Bacula will say something for you. Alright. I still want to do the backup save. Just never do it when there's no music, otherwise all sound will be gone. Forever. Alright, we could buy weapons. We have a new town. I shall destroy all the civilized planets. Yep. That is not Stardust's line. That was one of the enemy's lines. The bad guys were just as ambitious as Stardust. Except they all looked like generic gangsters. They all looked like generic gangsters. Every now and then you would see a gangster that actually looked like the guy who wrote it. He never self-inserted as Stardust. He always self-inserted as one of the guys that Stardust punished. Which, of course, probably ties into his guilty conscience, because he had one of those pretty severely. Going into his biography was pretty amazing. Although it did come from a pretty biased source. His son, who did not like him and hadn't seen him in years. And of course his son wouldn't like him, but at the same time that bias was still there. Like, it was blameless bias, but it was still bias. So there are like no neutral accounts on Fletcher Hanks. He just seemed like he was an asshole. It just seemed like he was an asshole. Ready for the evening, nice. He was a drunken asshole who ran off, realized he had gone too far being an asshole to his family, tried to get his shit together by no longer drinking, and wrote a whole bunch of basically Old Testament God versus bad guys story and saw himself as one of the bad guys. He didn't even see himself as the good guy. So I thought that was really interesting. I thought that was like pretty, like, that's such an interesting thing. How you doing, Spoon under your bed? Hack Rat, thank you for the race. What the?
Hope you've been working on the dance routine.
Okay, it's more fountain dungeons. We got more fountain dungeons. Welcome in, Hack Rat. We're talking about Stardust, the super wizard, which is the most insane superhero probably to ever be written. Welcome in. Luckily for you, Laya's law forbids killing. Kill no living thing was Laya's last message. So Laya's good. Laya's not evil at all. Lions should not marry despicable Iraqians. You were playing some Atari 2600 games again? That's awesome. Oh, what was the best one? What was your favorite one tonight? The people of Seal are insulted that you want the hand of Maya, our fair princess. Be gone. Oh shit, she was a lion princess! She was a lion princess. That would if Dad knew that, he would want her gone. They weren't kidnapping her, they were taking her home. Big understated plot twist. Let's explore these fountains. Very understated plot twist, but it makes sense. Alright. Start killing. Oh, they know Sue. Sue does a lot of damage. Okay. 12 damage. Cool. Making good money. Yeah, that's what this game especially is really good at that. They're really good at the whole understated plot twist, big major character moments just happening. Grah. Oh, Lena's not doing too good. Come on, come on. Oh no, the glop! Oh no, the glop! I would really like for Lyle to do something. Oh my god. There he goes. It only took him the entire game. Look at how gross these are. I like how they kind of look like organic, like, circuit boards. MASH. MASH was your favorite? Was it based on MASH? Like, was it based on the sitcom MASH? It used to be a movie. It used to be a movie, and then it became a sitcom. It was like a Korean War sitcom. And it got into, like, real horrors of war down the line, too. Yeah, Lyle loved it. Lyle loved it. Country star Lyle loved it was... Reginald Barkley was in it, yeah. The monster designs are completely unhinged. I love them. I love how insane these designs are. I don't know who did the art for these. I know who did the art for the covers, like for the box art, but oh my god, they're so fast. Cyber boogers. Oh, you know what? You know what, Mew? Heal everybody again. What? Oh, right. It is, yeah. Suicide is Painless is the name of it. It was written by the producer's edgy teenage son.
August and everything Armor has joined.
And he was like, you know what, fuck it, this is the theme song.
CTA scary, CTA scary, CTA scary, CTA
Thank you,
scary,
August, and
CTA
everything
scary,
Armbar.
outstanding emote.
It is outstanding. That is, can anybody guess what that emote is from? Who don't know, or who haven't been told in the Discord? Can anybody recognize that emote? Surf Ninjas, yeah. Yeah, it's Surf Ninjas. It's Surf Ninjas. I saw this first. Apparently they changed it later, right? Because it wasn't originally like... Yeah, for some reason the DVD release has him wearing this. And they shopped this in. But here's the actual one. Leslie Nielsen dressed like a shogun getting flooded out by the Surf Ninjas. There's Rob Schneider. Also, Rob Schneider's in this movie. Funny man Rob Schneider versus comedy legend Leslie Nielsen. Oh god, I fucking love that. Where he was like just saying shit. Where he was just saying like the dumbest shit based on specifically what he saw. It was so good. Like he had an appointment at men's room. And then the guy looks back and it's just the men's room. So good. Oh, thank you, Infinity Issue, for the follow. You just realized you weren't following? It happens. Oh, also, we're at 2,300 followers. On top of it being my birthday in a couple of days, we're also at 2,300 followers. Buzzin' Frog. I need to watch Wrongfully Accused again. That was like my first, I think it was like the first, or not the first, but one of the first like Leslie Nielsen movies I'd ever seen, like as far as comedies go. It was so good. I think the first I watched was probably Naked Gun. Naked Gun was, it had to be the first one I'd ever seen, but that was definitely an early one. Also, Mr. Magoo. That's why I think it's funny that, you know, like, I don't know, it's not really Zoomers, is it? It's like the next generation beyond Zoomers are saying Unk. And all I can think of is his nephew in Mr. Magoo, which is a 90s movie, calling him Unk all the time. And it's like, I don't know. And it felt like old-timey for me as a kid, him saying that. So it's weird kids taking, like, old nomenclature and then calling... it's so weird. I don't know. Like, they're just... Like, we're gonna bring the fucking Charleston back at this point as a human race. We're gonna bring back the... Flappers are gonna be the new name of TikTok chicks. Just give it a few years. They're just gonna be called Flappers. Yeah, old is new again, and you're old for recognizing it. Ska sitting in the corner all sad. That is a god tier one. Yeah, from Police. Yeah, from Police Squad. I'm a locksmith, and I'm a locksmith. Classic. Toots. You think a Gen Alpha's gonna say toots? I think it'll happen. Not an antidote. Flapper does sound. Oh god, that's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. TikTok is eventually gonna get shut down by China. And a new upstart called Flapper is gonna get involved. That's what's gonna happen, guys. This dungeon's kinda sick. I kinda like the creativity here. How's it going, Lollipop? Welcome in. It's the 20s all over again. One of the best lines in literature. Man, that's great, Gatsby. Oh, you're right. Mugenics is helping along with this. Mugenics with its fucking old-timey ass soundtrack. Yeah, polyethylene, you've been really throwing out those tracks. It's just an Ed McMillan game. I don't know. I'm so indifferent to Ed McMillan games post Time Fuck. I feel like it was his masterpiece. Thank you for the 10 bits.
The whole dime.
Nothing against Edmund McMillan, but like Vicarious Welting and Time Fuck were the games that I played the most of his. Well, once Binding of Isaac was out, I was like, I mean, I played Vicarious Welting. I like that a little better. That was the game where you were the weird bird. You were the weird fucked up baby bird that had to. It was like, oh my god, we're dead. Lena's dead. Lena was useless anyway, but I didn't want her to die. There we go. Alright, let's do a technique. Oh god, reverse. We get so lucky with reverse. We've used reverse twice. We have used reverse twice, and we have gotten reverse twice. Like, we have been so lucky with it. Because that can fail. I feel like that could very easily fail. But it just hasn't yet. I'm not gonna say it will fail. It won't fail. I mean, it can't be sustained forever, but 2 for 2 is good. 2 out of 2 is very good. We're gonna make a return to Robert E. Howard style 70s barbarian. Well, he wasn't 70s, but you know what I mean. 70s style barbarian fantasy film. We're gonna go to that. We're gonna bring back fucking John Carter, except this time it's gonna be uncensored because Disney isn't doing it. Uncensored John Carter would be too out of control for the modern audience. Mostly because literally everybody in John Carter in Princess of Mars is naked. I didn't realize that. I'm reading Princess of Mars. It was an Edgar Rice Burroughs book from like the 20s or the late teens. And yeah, literally every character is naked so far. Absolutely every single one. It's just a cultural thing. They wear armbands, they wear jewelry, they wear jack shit else. Male or female, doesn't even matter. Like, there are 2 different types of Martian. There are the red Martians and the green Martians. Green Martians are like 9 feet tall and have 4 arms. And I think the red Martians just look like people. I think they just look like humans. They're just, you know... Yeah, they're just humans, basically. I was like, Jesus Christ. I can relate to this. Let's see, where are we at? We're not doing too good. It's really good. It's very, like expect very flowery, like, writing, right? It almost sounds like a soldier basically recounting what went on to headquarters in a big, long report. So it sounds very formal, but the fight scenes are still really visceral. There's a lot of crazy shit going on. John Carter is, you know, he was a soldier, but he'll like knock the fuck out of people. And say it as matter-of-factly as just, you know, like I said, doing a war report. It feels like a war report. It's really good. I've got like the whole ass omnibus. I think it's in the bathroom, but like it's this huge omnibus of like the first 7 books, and it's like the book is like this big and the margins are insanely tiny. That looks like our way out. Bringing back your lunch. What is with these goops? Enough of the goops. Shoot them all. Ren has had enough of the goops. Yes, yeah, that's like the chapter I'm on now. It got introduced to some weird alien thing. I wonder how many people were pissed off at the John Carter movie just because the Princess of Mars actually had a top on. I wonder how many people were just pissed at that. That's not like the books. She literally only wears necklaces. Not even that many. That's the titular Princess of Mars. Burroughs did not give a fuck. I imagine most people didn't even know what John Carter even was. The way that movie was, like, sold, the way that movie was marketed was such a disaster, and I'm pretty sure Disney just wanted to keep the rights to the character or something. It was so weird how John Carter the movie came about. I'm very curious about it because it was a huge flop, and everybody who watched it seemed to at least kind of like it. It was definitely likable, if watered down for obvious reasons. I mean, for obvious reasons. It was one of those books that wasn't really made to be adapted. But, like, has anybody in chat seen John Carter? Let's talk about John Carter a little bit. Here's John Carter. Oh, fuck! I thought it was out! I hate when enemy encounters can be on fucking teleports. I hate that. You don't know what it is. John Carter was a book series called the Barsoom series. Barsoom was the name of Mars. That was what the Martians called Mars. They called it Barsoom. And let's see if we can actually get out of here. And what went on? Let me look for a book cover for a Princess of Mars, like an old book cover. Yeah, here's like the classic one. Here's the classic one. Here's Princess of Mars. Here's John Carter. There is a reason his waist is covered, because I don't think he's wearing anything under there. There's like some green Martians. There's the princess. This was a book written in like the teens. It was written in like the 1910s or something like that. And he wrote a shitload of them. 1912. It was first serialized in 1912. It was a serial book that eventually got compiled under a single volume. This ends up getting adapted in 2012, 100 years later. Its 100-year anniversary. Disney decides to adapt this. And they don't call it a Princess of Mars. They don't call it Princess of Mars. Right? They don't call it that. They call it John Carter. They call it John Carter. And this movie, how did it do? Better than I thought, but it was still a flop. It wasn't a massive flop. It had a $300 million budget, though. It had a huge budget. And sure enough, its box office didn't really make it, but it still did better than I expected. It wasn't Cutthroat Island. But it's always like famously considered like one of these awful fucking like flops. Like massive flops. Disney adapted and put clothes on them, and they got Taylor Kish. To fucking star as John, which I didn't think was a good pick. He did like the worst job in this movie, but everything else about the movie was awesome. Other than putting clothes on all the characters and you know, the casting of the main character, the rest of the movie was fine. Like, there were these big fights. It was very sword and sorcery. You know, he was like fighting these fucking things. He had like superpowers because Mars had lower gravity. He didn't really have superpowers, but he could like jump really high. He could run really fast. He didn't get tired as much. He could punch one of these 9-foot things in the face and knock it out in one hit because he was just so much stronger because he was on Earth's gravity. And these were like 1/3 Earth's gravity. So, and he was convinced just running around on Mars that they probably couldn't even pick themselves up if they were on Earth. Like, the book is so in-depth about how these people, like, work. Yeah, here's the weird dog thing. The descriptions are pretty much on point. Like, they did look kind of like this. Yeah, John Carter is a hell of a name for a movie that looks like this, right? John Carter's a hell of a name for a movie that looks like this. It was a terrible title. I don't know why they decided to call it that. When Princess of Mars would have been good. Barsoom would have been good. Barsoom being the title, the name, yeah, that's the name of the entire saga. They called it the Barsoom Saga. Barsoom, like I said, was the name of Mars. Princess of Mars would have been a good title. That would have been sellable. Gods of Mars would have been a cool fucking name. Warlord of Mars would have been awesome. In fact, yeah, one of the titles is John Carter of Mars, and even they change it to Warlord of Mars. Like, it's just this insane, out-of-control series. It could have been a whole-ass franchise. But instead they completely fuck it, like, right off the bat. Also, the princess fights all the time, too. The princess also fights all the time. Like, it's just crazy Frank... Yeah, the sci-fi epic Disney killed. Yeah, that's a good way of saying it. It was just this very Frank Frazetta, very barbarian, very ass-kicking series from the 1910s to the 1920s. Like, this is John Carter, right? Yeah, nobody talked about it. Your uncle might talk about it. That's how I knew about it, because my uncle, said, man, you gotta watch this John Carter movie. It's fucking awesome. It's fucking good. This is a good fucking movie. And I was like, all right. You know, every now and like he loves like crazy adventure movies. And so I was like, all right, I'll check it out. And then I watched it. I was like, what the fuck is this? Why haven't I heard of this? So now I'm reading it, and the book is even better. It's even better. Paul Atreides of Arrakis. Paul Atreides is definitely... the Dune thing, it does remind me of Dune in little ways. Not really in an action... What the hell is that? Klops. We got Klops.
Why don't you use a little bit of your brain, musclehead?
I like how he's called the Cyclops because he has a big block with an eye on it on his head. Kill him. Kill him before he does any damage. Oh, did he flex his pecs at us? Was that a pec flex attack? Was that was what I thought it was, right? God, we may have to fucking regroup. No, I don't think he has legs. I think he just floats. Let's use some die-mates on some people. Oh, man. We have some die-mates. Who needs a die-mate? You need a die-mate. We have some tri-mates also. Let's use the monomate. We have a lot of die-mates. Holy crap. Let's just use them. That was a pec flex. I wasn't... That was a Choaniki-ass monster, yeah. But yeah, go ahead and watch John Carter. It is a fun time. Taylor Kitsch can't act for shit, and he almost ruins it, but the rest of the movie's awesome. Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, he's flexing his pecs and winking his eye. What? No! No, it wasn't modern day. He was still a Civil War veteran. He was still it was still Civil War stuff. And that was surprising. Like, let me see. I don't even know if they switched his, because in the book he was a Confederate soldier. He was just doing it for, you know, because he just happened to be there. You know, when you're in a war, you're usually going to be on whatever side you happen to be there at. Let's see. Oh, you're not talking about the big budget. You're not talking about the big budget. Oh, there was another version where he was a B-movie remake within the past 10 or 20 years where they made it modern day and he was a Navy SEAL. Oh, I hate when they do shit like that. Yeah, they just made him... They just went so straight up in the Disney movie. Like, he was a former Confederate soldier... Which, you know, it didn't really reflect him as a person. He was, like I said, he was like a kid at the time, and it was either that or get killed. Because he didn't really dwell on it. But yeah, there was like another version. Mario Van Peebles. He was in every movie. He was like in every B movie. Wasn't Mario Van Peebles the bad guy in Highlander 3? The movie that was objectively better than Highlander 2, but still kind of shit? Oh my god! Remind me to never get surprised in this game. We got healers, great. Kill it. Kill them too. Mew's gonna die. Mew's gonna die if I don't do something. Mew, go ahead and... Oh, she can't. She can only revive one person.
70 bits. Oh, boy.
Base_hole has dropped 70 bits. Oh boy, never get surprised in this game.
Never get surprised in this game. Thank you. Thank you for the 70 bits. I'll be sure not to. I'll be sure not to. I'll do my best. This place looks like a big dungeon. That's a very good build-up. Please don't cast spells. Okay, they didn't cast spells, we're good. Yeah, Couch, these monster designs are out of control. That's one thing reason I like this. Also, these little birds will show up at random everywhere. Like, I knew this was gonna be a fresh take on RPG stuff. Because it's done by a completely different team. The original team, the original Phantasy Star team ended up getting merged into Sonic Team around this point to help with work on Sonic. So they had a completely different team do this. And there are people that would call that a bad thing. Oh, there he is. Get out of here. Don't flex on me. Ah! I think he missed. No, I don't think he did. Oh my god! Oh, no, I get you, Retro. I was just talking about other people. I wasn't talking about you, I was talking about other people. Some people will call that a bad thing. Yeah, it's hilarious. Luckily for you, Laya's law forbids killing. Kill no living thing was Leia's last message. That was nothing. Okay, killed that. We surprised him. Yeah. They're hilarious. That is a funny as shit design. Yeah, I wasn't talking about you personally. I was talking about, like, you know, I'm just trying to figure out the logic on why this isn't considered a good game. Because I haven't seen it yet. I just haven't seen the downside yet. I don't think there is one. Oh, there's a throne. Oh, the build-up, the dungeon designs are sick. The dungeon designs are really good. I like the way the dungeons are designed. Lena's dead. We could maybe save her. If we could save her with our last MP, that'd be cool. Just because it's not even that different. I don't even think it's that different from the previous games, Retro. Like, it's made some changes, but I'm not seeing the difference. I'm still wandering around aimlessly. There are still very understated replacements for cutscenes. It was bound to happen. She was useless as a character anyway. Just stick with who we have. We're almost there. Like, it feels exactly the same. It feels like Phantasy Star 2, only better. It feels like Phantasy Star 2 with none of the shit dungeon design. Maybe that's what it was. Hardcore Phantasy Star 2 fans were like playing through these dungeons and thinking, why am I not lost? Why is this so satisfying? Why is this game better than Phantasy Star 2? I can't like it better than the game that I'm a huge fan of. See, I don't even see that disconnect. We're still on the 3 planets we're going between. The only thing that's weird is that we're going between them through caves. I am the king of Seal, then why aren't you on the real throne? I'll show you how we handle Iraqian spies in my country. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Lyle. Use your magic. Sue! Okay, play carefully because these guys can probably hurt. Yeah, gonna try and do that shit. Will not save you. We have actual bosses. This is our second boss so far. That is something that was very rare in maybe they were bad that there were too many bosses. What do you mean a second boss? It's not the end of the game yet. This game is trash. Jesus, that's a lot of damage. Come on! Yes, we got it. Yeah, King Mustache. I yield to you, Reese. You are mighty indeed. Perhaps Lyle, my nephew, was right about you. You must now choose between Maya and Lena. What? Wed Maya, and you shall become King of Seal. Marry Lena, and you shall become King of Landon and neighboring Cetera. This is the best this is the best Phantasy Star. Holy shit. Fuck polls, I'm marrying Maya. How the fuck? No, Retro Leover, I don't see it. I just can't see it. I refuse to. Yeah, I'm marrying Maya. Look at her. No poll. We'll poll next time. Look at how pretty Maya is. This is the whole reason I went on the quest. I renounce my claim to Landon's throne. This is so good. Ah, fuck. I renounce my claim to Landon's throne and choose to become your husband, Maya. And I shall be your wife and queen. Together we will rule the fair land of Seal. This is so sick! There's a whole graphic! After many adventures, Reese at last found Maya. Reese became king of the peaceful land of Seal. Maya gave birth to a son, and they named him Ein. This is the story of Prince Ein and Seal. After 15 years of peace, war once again came. 15 years! This game is so good!